You know that feeling. Remember when you used to think that turning 40 was like, ooh, the end of the world? Like, remember that? Your best years were behind you just last week. And now that you've actually arrived at the ripe, newfound age of 40, it's kind of funny how wrong you were. See, the way I see it is 40 isn't the beginning of the end. It's actually the start of something phenomenal. I'm talking something better. I'm talking about you being in the position to finally let go of all the nonsense that you heard before or that you thought before. I want you to just lean in. I want you to lean into being you, unapologetically you. And you know what? This is where your glow up actually begins. And you heard me right, your glow up. And I'm not talking about makeovers and mani and petties. I'm talking about you being able to, by the end of this video, uncover all your unique strengths. I want you to be able to reclaim your confidence and start building a version of yourself that's not only true to you, but is powerful and maybe even profitable. Because discovering your true self after 40, or should I say, discovering yourself after 40, that's the real glow up. Let me spill the tea. Because after all, whose tea is it really? Here's the thing. Society has been spilling tea for years about what aging is supposed to mean. Now, let me break that down a little bit. I'm talking about everyone told you were going downhill after 40, that your worth will completely diminish by the time you hit 40, and that reinvention isn't you. But let's pause and ask ourselves, whose tea is that really? Because it sure enough wasn't mine, and it's not yours either. I'm talking about a narrative that we need to sip on because it sure wasn't ours. The real tea is that once you turn 40 or 40 and over, you're actually in your prime. And that gives you the leverage to tell your own story and to redefine what success and happiness and self worth actually looks like. You get to brew your own tea now. Make it spicy, make it sweet, make it strong, make it soothing, and serve it on your own terms. And that's what the glow up is all about. So let me ask you, what actually changed for you? Have you felt like there's been a change since you've turned 40? Because you know, that shift that sneaks in when you hit that stage of your life can be quite traumatic for some. Because it's like the weight of chasing perfection just lifted up off of you. And then suddenly, it's not about fitting into someone else's mold anymore. It's about stepping into your confidence. You're embracing your wisdom. You're looking at all the little quirks that make you who you are, and realizing those were not flaws, not by far. It's actually my secret sauce. So here's the question. How do you take everything that life has thrown at you, and I do mean everything that it threw at you with the kitchen sink, how do you take all those things that you have learned over time and shape that and mold that into your truest version of yourself? How do you do it? See, you're not looking for approval, you're not looking for applause, you're just being you. I'm giving you an applause. Because sheesh, if I know my own story, I'm sure someone out there either had it way worse or similar, and it was rough. So let's start here. Real talk, real talk. When was the last time that you actually stopped to think about what makes you you? Like, what lights you up? I mean, when I say what lights you up, sets your soul on fire, and makes you think that there is no other feeling like this in the world. None. Throw out the old, and let's talk about what lights you up now that you turned 40. This lit me up before, but it's really light me up now. Okay? This lights me up. And then I have to think about, well, what am I good at that makes this person want to stick with me? You ain't ready for that answer. You are not ready for that answer. But I want to know what you're good at. And you should too. And you should try writing it down. I write things down all day long on my trusty little notebook. I mean, if you don't have a notebook, then you could just get a piece of paper, grab something, write down things like what you've overcome. Or because I know most of us are busy throughout the day, and we forget to check the things or check in with ourselves, so to speak. So here's what I want you to do. I just really want you to grab a piece of paper, a notebook, your cell phone, whatever. Write these things down because you are not going to want to miss out on this. I'm talking about write down one thing that you're good at. I'm talking about write down one thing that you're just so tremendously proud of overcoming. Because these small questions, they seem really small. But when you really sit and think about how it resonates with who you are as an individual, they are super powerful. They're actually used as a reminder of everything you got going on for you, just for you. And trust me, you got a lot going on with this glow up. Okay, you got a lot going on. You know, and I'm gonna tell you why wisdom is actually your secret weapon. I'm gonna tell you because here's the part they never told us about getting older in the first place. That all those years of us grinding, hustling, making sure A touch point B, that actually gave us leverage to have a vault packed with little treasures, as I like to say. I'm talking about any memory you have, any mistake you made, any triumph that you've overcome, and any lessons that you learned are all packed in this vault. And if you think about it this way, every time you stumbled, or every time you won, or every aha moment has actually shaped the way you see the world. And it actually is something that no one else can replicate for you. You carry this perspective that's actually unique and one of a kind. It's sort of your blueprint, your insight to what you and only you can offer to anyone. So, what do you think you would do with all that treasure? Maybe you would crack open the vault. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe you would just share a piece of it. Because I do that daily. I just give you one little smidge of me. Or maybe you would pass it along in a way that makes sense to someone else so that they can see or go, wow, I needed that. Thank you. So, no more fitting in the mold. Just no more of that. We were not have that. It's time to let go and let go. I'm talking about getting one thing straight. Let's get one thing straight. This is not about becoming someone new. You hear me? It's not. It's about you getting back to the real you, the one who's been there all along. You don't need to fit into anyone's idea of who you should be. Forget the molds, forget the rules. First time for everything. I'm saying it. Miss T is saying it. Forget the rules. This is your time to figure out what works for you. Maybe you're someone who thrives on helping others get organized. I don't know. Or maybe you've got this creative streak that's been itching to come out. Whatever it is, I want you to lean into it and I want you to own it and I want you to explore it. See where it takes you. Now you can turn passion into possibility. Who knew? Let's talk about the part that no one ever likes to admit. Listen, a glow up isn't just about rediscovering yourself. It's actually about you feeling amazing. It's about you creating a life that you want, that works for you inside and outside. So then you have to ask yourself, like, how do you take all these pieces of self discovery puzzles that you crafted to make them something solid, something that not only reflects who you are as a person, but something that reflects who you are that can possibly support you financially? That's the question. How can you turn that into something that not only reflects who you are, but also supports you financially? So you got to start small. You got to start small. You got to test things out. Look at me. I'm on YouTube. I'm testing things out. I've been here, 2, 3 years? The journey has not been easy by far. I tell you, I take hours out of my day, each and every single day, to think of how I can turn this platform into something that's beneficial for you. Trust that I do that. But you need to test things out. Maybe you offer your skills on freelance platforms. I've done Upwork. It may work for you. I'm not sure. Try it. You'll never know. A couple wise people always told me you will never know what works until you jump 2 feet in. So maybe you want to create something like an ebook. Yes, I've tried that too. Maybe you want to write a course. You will find something where your purpose is truly needed. And it will bring you in a little cha-ching. Maybe you want to start sharing your story online. Look, I always make sure it comes back to online. And then maybe you want to see who it resonates with. Remember, the key here is that there is no right or wrong way to do this, but you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you after 40. Okay? The point is to take the first step and to see where it leads. Or take a handful of spaghetti and throw it on the wall and see what sticks. We've all done that. This is just the beginning. Here's what I want you to remember though. Seriously. You're not starting over. You're actually building on everything you've already done. I'm talking about building everything that you've done, inside, outside, above, and below. You're building upon that. You're taking all the best parts of you and you're using them to create something that feels so true to who you are. And that, my friends, is the ultimate glow up. Yes, it is. I'm so happy that you've arrived. So tell me, what's something about yourself that you're ready to lean into? Because I love to hear about it. And if you're feeling inspired to keep going, I want you to stick around because I have so much more to share with you. Next, we will be talking about the best side hustles for turning your unique strengths into income. You're not going to want to miss out on that. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.